sure.
How do you think Islam Makhachev will do at 170 when he fights Jack Della Maddalena?
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I never thought about that, so I don't know.
Before we move further, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you stay locked in with everything happening in the MMA world. Let's get started. Islam Makhachev has been pushing through an unforgiving training camp, showing off the unmatched drive that's made him a champion. He's been going non-stop with intense workouts, but Craig Jones thinks Islam could be about to face one of his toughest matchups yet. Craig pointed to Makhachev's first bout with Volkanovski as an example that elite scrambling can trouble him, and he said Jack Della Maddalena adds even more surprises with his unique grip breaks and unpredictable grappling style.
I think it's a super difficult fight for Islam, this one. He's like, obviously he's faced Volk twice. We'll forget about the second one, but the first one, very competitive with the grappling. And now we're talking about he's facing a guy that's some of the best scrambling ability, I think, period, in all of MMA, and some of the most unorthodox grappling. And I think that's what Belal struggled with. Belal really just sticks to a blueprint. The blueprint obviously works very well.
He also explained that Jack's creative approach makes him much harder to game plan for than a fighter like Belal Muhammad, who sticks to a rigid plan. Craig added that the size difference could catch people off guard and sees this as the kind of striking-focused fight that fans love.
But in terms of creativity and what Belal does, I think it's pretty strict. Jack, as you saw in that fight, some of his off balances and grip breaks and some of the things he does, it's really hard to prepare for that. So I think like Islam, the size difference is going to be quite a lot bigger than people think. And we've seen how Volk did on the ground and how much Islam struggled with him in the grappling exchanges. And having seen Jack and Volks work together, seeing the skill sets, like this is a perfect one. The UFC want guys that stand and bang. I'm trying to still help them out, even though potentially.
Meanwhile, Jorge Masvidal weighed in on the possible clash between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, calling it a high-stakes showdown. He mentioned that Islam cuts a ton of weight to make 155, so fighting at welterweight could bring out the best version of him. But even with Islam's strength and high fight IQ, Masvidal called Jack a special talent and said if Jack beats Islam, he should be recognized as the top pound-for-pound fighter on the planet.
I've seen Islam, bro. He's a big guy. He's sucking out a lot of weight to get to 55. I think he might start doing better at 70. Problem is, though, Jack is special. We're gonna see just how special he is if he beats Islam. Jack, #1 pound for, wow, that's impressive, you know.
Though Jorge slightly favored Islam, he made it clear this matchup won't be easy. He highlighted that Jack was able to stuff takedowns from Belal Muhammad, who has incredible cardio, but said Islam's wrestling technique is on another level. Jorge also noted Jack's advantage in striking speed and power, especially in the opening rounds, but believes if Islam survives early danger and drags the fight into the later rounds, his grappling IQ and experience could swing the fight.
I'm leaning towards Islam, brother.
Oh, really?
You know, but I really think it's going to be a tough fight for him, but a great fight, man.
Jack was able to defend takedown attempts by Belal.
Belal has the best cardio in MMA, but Belal doesn't have Islam's technique. Not same technique. Not same. Very good, very aggressive. Belal never stops. A dog. Attack. But Islam is like smart, man. Boom. You know, Islam's level of wrestling is above. His stand-up game is improving. I don't think he could go stand-up in the beginning with Jack. Jack has way better hands, way better range, faster, stronger. But as the rounds go on later and later, he could do.
Makhachev's training camps are notorious for being as tough as they come, designed to push him to the limit mentally and physically. With elite Dagestani wrestlers around him and coach Javier Mendez leading the charge, Islam keeps his grappling, stamina, and fight IQ razor sharp every single day. His daily routine includes hard sparring, intense conditioning, and drills tailored specifically for each opponent. When he's hitting pads, Makhachev's focus is all about precision and timing, mixing sharp strikes with fluid takedown setups. His combinations stay clean and efficient, showing just how much his stand-up game keeps evolving. It's not just about raw power, but about smart movement, accuracy, and full control, all of which make him a threat in every area.
sure.
Craig Jones admitted he's now fully sold on Islam Makhachev, saying he once underrated him but now sees him as one of the greatest ever. He pointed out that Islam might be a bit lighter than usual for welterweight, which could raise questions about the size gap, but still believes Islam has what it takes to dominate and submit Jack if the fight goes to the ground.
Feel confident about this
Yeah,
one?
very, very confident with this one.
You think Islam stays at 170 after this, or do you think he goes back down?
I mean, yeah, good question. I don't know what he's weighing. Like, I think he was posting that he was pretty light, so I'm not sure how he's going to deal with that size difference. I think, obviously, worst case scenario, he goes out ragdolls, potentially submits Jack. I think he's probably going to stay.
You think Ilia beats him?
Who knows with that guy? That guy surprises me every time, eh?
He's incredible, right?
Yeah, I was too hard on him at the beginning. I think I watched some of his fights and just didn't think he was that good. And then, like, I was like, oh, all right. God damn, it's one of the best ever, I think.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Craig also said that if Jack manages to beat Islam, it could leave Islam in a tough position, especially with Ilia Topuria waiting at lightweight. He joked that losing might mean Islam has to earn his way back to a title fight, but said it all depends on how convincingly Jack gets it done.
Puts Islam in a difficult position. Does he now go back down to fight Ilia after he loses? I know Ilia make jokes. He's like, oh, if you lose to Jack, you have to re-earn the shot of the title. But yeah, I think I really like Ilia's waiting for that fight, and it all is determined by how good a performance Jack does.
New training clips show Makachev putting serious work into his wrestling, drilling takedowns, chain wrestling, and sparring with bigger partners to get used to the welterweight jump. It all shows how he's working to adjust his style without losing the speed and control that makes him so dangerous. His grappling remains his sharpest weapon. Islam is pushing himself to the absolute edge for this fight because he knows exactly what kind of threat Jack Della Maddalena is. His training is relentless. Constant wrestling practice, tight striking sessions, and sparring with some of the best partners in the game. With his coaches and teammates behind him, Islam's focus is on point for the challenge ahead. Stephen Thompson recently shared his thoughts on how tough the move to welterweight could be for Islam, pointing out that a lot of the fighters at 170 are naturally much bigger. He said even if Jack isn't much taller, the strength gap might be significant. He praised Islam's wrestling, but said Jack's already tested himself against good wrestlers like Belal Muhammad. He believes it's a big challenge for Islam, but hopes the fight happens.
I don't know, man. I mean, when you're going up to the welterweight division, those are some big boys. And I know Islam Makhachev walks around fairly heavy, but a lot of these 170s, they walk around real heavy. I'm talking about, over 205, 210 into 215. Some of the guys that I've faced would walk around at that weight. I think like the height, I think they might be the same height. I think JDM might be a little taller, but when it comes to those guys and their strength, Islam, I think, is going to have a tough time. Now, do I think he could get it done? Yes. I think he's that good of a grappler. But like I said, JDM has faced some of the best welterweight grapplers and wrestlers in the division. Belal being one of them. I think it's going to be a tough night for him. I would like to see Islam fight Topuria. That's just me. I would love to see that fight happen. But if he comes up, we'll see what the UFC gets behind. And we all know you got to convince the UFC to make it happen. And you do that first by getting on Twitter, shouting it out, and get people talking about it. And that's what Islam did. So we'll see if that fight happens with JDM.
Ali Abdelaziz confirmed that Islam will go after the full welterweight belt this year. If Jack can't defend it, the title will be vacated and Islam will face another contender. The UFC has already signed off on this plan.
When will it happen, Islam and Jack?
Islam fighting for the title this year. The non-interim title, a title. Jack Maddalena is the champion, but if Jack is not available, it will be someone else fighting Islam for the title. That's what the UFC told me. That's what Dana told me. That's what the hunters, everybody said. And that was one of the stipulations. If Islam go up, Jack get injured, and I hope he's healthy, and he seemed like he's healthy, this title will be vacated, and Islam will fight for welterweight.
Coach Javier Mendez said Jack may or may not be Islam's toughest test, but confirmed Islam is hungry and fully prepared. He praised Islam's dedication and said moving to 170 should suit him physically. Mendes believes everyone will see Islam performing at his absolute peak.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say if he's a harder challenge. I just know Islam wants this one. So for me, that's the challenge I want, and it's the challenge that I know Islam's going to be, supreme over, because I just know his skill set. I know what he brings to the table, and he brings an incredible work ethic along with skill set in every area. So, Islam's a whole different animal than the Jack's ever been involved with. So if that fight does materialize, we're going to see a hell of a fight, and you're going to see Islam perform at an absolute incredible level. And also, the weight is not super big for him either. So he's going to be a fairly decent welterweight. So Islam won't be a small guy. He'll be a decent welterweight if that fight materializes.
Henry Cejudo predicts Islam will win and become a two-division champ, saying it's the next natural step in his career. Kamaru Usman, however, backed Jack, saying Jack's calmness and composure make him more than capable of keeping the title. Both think we'll see the fight go down in Abu Dhabi this October.
I think Islam Makhachev is going to beat him. I think he's going to become the 11th double champ in UFC history.
Islam tweeted, "Keep it shiny, keep it nice for me." JDM, it was kind of like the perfect comeback. He was just like, yeah, come get it.
Keep my belt clean. Okay, so the has begun, dude. That fight is set. That fight's going to take place in October, Abu Dhabi. I think we all know that. We're no longer going to get Ilia versus Islam Makhachev just now.
Gilbert Burns said that moving up to 170 makes sense for Islam because the cut to 155 has been getting harder. He praised Islam's skill set, but warned that Jack's time training with guys like Volkanovski and Craig Jones could make it a tight and dangerous matchup.
Islam is working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proven himself. He's number one pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're going to have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think. And JDM has a clear shot on beating.
Philip Rowe gave his pick for Jack Della Maddalena to win, pointing out Jack's knockout power and his ability to get back to his feet as big factors. He wondered whether Islam's frame is really built for welterweight and said he sees Jack stopping Islam with his relentless pressure and durability.
Philip Rowe, what's cracking, man?
Chilling.
Hey, now listen, you're welterweight. You've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in a fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. I think personally he'll stop at Islam.
Islam Makachev himself admitted the fight's no walkover and gave Jack credit for making big strides in his wrestling since joining the UFC. He said Jack's work with top grapplers has made him a real contender and said this matchup will settle who's really the best.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard fight. Honestly, it's gonna be. I saw his fight against Bilal. He's good, man. He is good. When he beginning fighting in UFC, he had problem with the wrestling, but now he's improved because I see he training a lot with the wrestlers, with the grapplers, and that's why he's a champion right now, and he's good everywhere. But we will see who is the best fighter in the world.
Yeah,
very soon.
Yeah.
And it's going very quick.
Despite focused strength training, Islam said putting on weight has been a struggle. He's only managed to add about 2 kilos so far, and stressed that he's building lean muscle through hard work, not just eating more.
I will try to be big, you know, it's not easy, man. All my life I cut weight, but now when I want to be big, my weight stays same position, you know. I try to lift more, we do some program and like slowly, we bring 2 kg right now, but I don't want to be big by food, you know, eating and not training. I want to be with like muscles, you know. I want to training and bring some muscle.
Islam also shared his goal of headlining at Madison Square Garden, calling it the place where legends are made. He wants to become a double champ there because for him, it's about building a legacy, not just chasing a paycheck.
I asked Dana if there's some opportunity to fight in Madison Square Garden. It will be honor for me, you know, fight in the like biggest arena for MMA and boxing, like it's for like legendary arena, you know, and I will be happy to have the opportunity to fight in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, you deserve it at least one time, Islam. I know this has been a dream. You've said this
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
And they have other champions they can fight in Abu Dhabi. They have Magomed Ankalaev now, so like this is your chance.
Yeah. This is my chance, and I want, you know, I know like some of the fighters, like boxing fighter, they're not fighting in Madison Square Garden for the money or just for the victory. They just fighting there for the legacy, you know.
Yeah.
And I also want to fight. I also want to fight there for the legacy.
How are you
And
getting?
It's just a dream, you know, to be double champ in Madison Square Garden.
Ilia initially didn't care much for the fight, but later gave Jack some tactical advice, saying he should target Islam's body to stop his takedowns. He praised Jack's striking and said, body shots are the key to beating a wrestler like Makachev.
How do you think Islam Makhachev will do at 170 when he fights Jack Della Maddalena?
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I never thought about that, so I don't know.
Charles Oliveira called Jack a dangerous striker who wears his opponents down methodically. He thinks the added size will help Islam, but said the fight will come down to whether Jack can keep it standing or if Islam controls it on the ground.
O que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. É o que ele fez agora no contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazer a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo, é o time.
Aljamain Sterling confidently picked Jack to beat Islam Makhachev, highlighting Jack's size, reach, and crisp mid-range striking as key advantages. He said these weapons would make it tough for Islam to close distance or shoot takedowns. Sterling also said Jack's strength could neutralize Islam's usual control, and that a clear loss might end any chance for Islam to face Ilia Topuria down the line.
You picked JDM to win. Now he's got a big challenge in his first title defense against Islam. Do you think he's got what it takes to beat an Islam Makachev in his first defense?
People are going to say it's a wild take, but I reckon JDM smokes Islam. Shins him so bad. It's going to be so bad that the Topuria Islam thing will just be gone.
So you think Islam's wrestling won't be a threat to JDM just because he's a lot bigger?
He's a lot bigger, and like when you watch JDM, like you put him on the end of mid-range, he's just going to throw. It's hard to like shoot in on. He's not going to be able to just abuse his size against him either. I think Islam's in for a rude awakening.
Sean O'Malley called Islam versus Jack a huge fight, but not quite on the same level as a matchup with Ilia Topuria. He gave Jack credit for the win over Belal Muhammad, saying it adds a lot of heat to the matchup with Islam. Ali noted that if Jack can defend takedowns and land big shots, it could be closer than people expect. He added that Islam's move to welterweight is one to watch, and the size gap between him and Jack might not be that big. Ali believes Islam's all-around game could make striking more important in this fight than some think.
Islam relinquish his belt and go up to 170. Got JDM taking on Islam Makachev. I still think Islam's skill for skill is just so high level. For him to go out there and do what he did against Belal was very impressive, made that Islam fight more interesting. If JDM can shut him down and throw those hands, but Islam's boxing is underrated. That dude is slick. His kickboxing, his timing, like he's a high level black belt in every aspect of MMA. We'll give him that. Jack versus Islam, I think, is huge. Not as big as Ilia versus Islam, but who knows? Maybe they both win and Islam comes back down to 55 and the fight's even bigger.
How do you think Islam does at welterweight?
Who knows? I heard he's not going to be any smaller than Jack come fight at night. 55 to 70, that's a little bit different than 35 to 45, 45 to 55. But when your skill level's that high, as Islam's is, it'll be interesting if he goes in there and tries to shoot on Jack. Jack stuffs him and gets in his face. But Islam's striking is so underrated. Islam could put the hands on Jack, too.
And that's it for today's breakdown. Drop your predictions in the comments. Who do you think comes out on top? If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around for more videos just like this one. See you next time.